Hare Krishna and heartily congratulations for taking to this Srimad Bhagavatam reading marathon. So today we are going to discuss something very significant which will encourage us to read Srimad Bhagavatam. So what is Srimad Bhagavatam? So Srimad Bhagavatam is the personal commentation on the Vedanta Sutra. By whom? By Srila Vyasadeva himself. And it was written in the maturity of his spiritual life by the mercy of Srila Narada Muni. So if we ask a question, who is Srila Vyasadeva? Then Srila Vyasadeva is an authorized incarnation of Narayana. And Narayana is the Supreme Personality of God himself. So that's why Srimad Bhagavatam is not a man-made thing. Srimad Bhagavatam is written by Vyasadeva, who is an incarnation of the Lord. So therefore, there is no question as to his authority. And he is not only the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, but he is also the author of various Vedic literatures. And yet he is recommending us to study Srimad Bhagavatam above all of them. So what is in other Puranas and what is in Srimad Bhagavatam? We should know this. So in the other Puranas, there are different methods set forward by which one can worship the demigods. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, only the Supreme Lord is mentioned, and only Supreme Lord has been worshipped. So the Supreme Lord is the total body, and the demigods are the different parts of that body. Consequently, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, one does not need to worship the demigods. So how to help fix how the Supreme Lord can become fixed in our heart. So the Supreme Lord becomes fixed in our heart by simply taking shelter of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended the Srimad Bhagavatam as a spotless Puran, and he himself also distinguished it from all other Puranas. Now, what is a proper way of receiving such great literature in our life? The proper method of receiving this transcendental literature is to hear it submissively and reading it sincerely. With a challenging attitude, one cannot help realize this transcendental message. So there is a shloka in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krute Kimva Paririshvaraha Sadhyo Hridaya Avridyatra Kritivi Shushubhistakshanat. Now, one particular word is used herein, which is Sushushu. So, Sushushu means one must be anxious to hear this transcendental message, and one should have this desire to sincerely hear and read this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, the desire to sincerely hear is actually the first qualification. Now, less fortunate people are not interested in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, one might say that I don't have interest in Srimad Bhagavatam because I don't have taste for it. So how to increase the taste for reading Srimad Bhagavatam? I have another question. How does one increase the taste for chanting? Is by chanting more and more and more. So the less fortunate persons who are not interested in Srimad Bhagavatam, and if we are one of them, then we should try to read more and more and more. So the process is simple, but the application is difficult. And Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be read from the beginning. And one becomes qualified to hear or read Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. And if you have Srimad Bhagavatam in your hand, if you're planning to study Srimad Bhagavatam, that means you are one of those fortunate people that you have become qualified because of you have did so many pious deeds in your life. So the intelligent person with thoughtful discretion can be assured. Who is assuring us? Vyasadeva is assuring us. What is assuring us? That if one wants to realize the Supreme Lord, then he can directly realize it by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And Vedavyasa is saying us that without undergoing the different stages of realization which are set forth in the Vedas, one can be lifted immediately to the position of Paramhamsa simply by agreeing to receive this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, thank you very much. That was the talk for today. Hare Krishna.